But haven't we seen enough with some of these guys? Like Doc Rivers is up for this Phoenix Suns job, Mo, and I don't know. Is he going to trade for Kevin Garnett?
I mean, let me clear
I'm
my
putting
voice
my
here
flame retardant suit on for
no, I'm
what's
not
coming.
gonna. I'm not gonna go that hard. It's just the fact of like, haven't we seen enough of Doc at this point? I mean, to the point where like he just continues to fail up into these unbelievable jobs, right? He left Boston on his own accord and wanted to become the Clipper head coach because he thought he could win a championship with that team. Never got out of the second round with that team. Blew the 3-1 leads, one in the bubble, which fine, whatever. Bubble was weird. We want to have that conversation, whatever. But blew the one against Houston in that area. Gets let go or parts ways with the Clippers. Goes to Philly, another team that has championship aspirations right off the bat. Blows a 3-2 lead in Atlanta in a series that they should have won. And we could talk about the Ben Simmons stuff, whatever, all that bullshit. Blows, I mean, it's along those lines. Blows a 3-2 lead against Boston this year. Ends up getting fired. And now you're looking, and Phoenix is going to look at that saying, I want to be in the Doc Rivers business. Like, and it's a lot of coaches. I'm picking on Doc right now, but it's a lot of the retread of so many coaches. At a certain point, it becomes a problem. We've seen a lot of good young coaches come into this league with teams taking a chance on them. And yeah, they're not high profile jobs, right? But like, we've seen Doc take a lot of high profile jobs and not have a lot of success. I don't know why you would look at past recency, his recent run, and feel like, yeah, that's the guy I'm going to get there. And I want to ding other coaches, but I think it's there's a lot of guys in there that get these opportunities, these retreads. Mike D'Antoni's name being floated around for the 76ers. Like, really? Really?
Okay, now Mike D'Antoni, though, let me hear you out on the Mike D'Antoni thing. I'd like to see an offensive genius coaching, Joel Embiid, just to see what it looks like.
No, but
he
that's
doesn't
not
necessarily
what they're
need to
doing.
be the head coach.
That's not what they're doing. Well, what he was already in Philly as an assistant to Brett Brown, right? And all of that stuff. So he did have that a little bit of a run as an offensive coach in that regard. But like, I think here's the thing, man. They're hiring it to make James Harden happy. That shouldn't be your coaching hire. That shouldn't be your aim for a coaching hire in that regard. I feel like there's just a lot of good young coaches. Some of these assistant coaches, Jordy Fernandez is a name.
But it's
Charles
unrealistic.
Lee.
But it's unrealistic to think that they're gonna get a first-time guy to coach like Phoenix or Philly or Milwaukee. Milwaukee, maybe out of the three, would be the most likely, and I could see them maybe going with like Charles Lee, maybe like an internal promotion.
Dave,
no,
it's unrealistic thinking that Doc Rivers is going to carry you to a championship when he's had championship rosters the past few years or close to it and has not gotten even out of the second round and has a 16-33 record in closeout games.
Which, by the way, the rest of the league wins about 60% of games. So that's not just like, that's real bad. That across the last 20, across the Doc's like playoff coaching tenure, he wins about a third of the games with a chance to close an opposition out, and everyone else wins 60%. So it's really quite bad. I wonder how much of it is. I can understand wanting like the stability of an established yada yada yada. Problem is of the established yada 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 guys, there's maybe one of them who you think, yeah, that guy we haven't really seen like huge drawbacks from him where you just have worries, and that's Quinn, and he's already taken. I would probably say I would probably like say that Bud is the least drawbacky of the rest of the carousel. But again, like you say, it's like, hey, we've seen this movie before. We've seen the same movie several times from each of these directors. So we know what they do.
Always trying to tie in. You're trying to draw me into a movie discussion now, Seth. Damn it.
Yeah.
The issues there. But more importantly, I just want teams to think a little more outside the box instead of just constantly bringing in the same names. And this was an issue we've had for a long time. A long time. So many same coaches. It's just different place and same stuff and same situation and things like that. And sometimes it works and it makes sense. And you bring in this guy and boom, team takes off right away. But like I want teams, Dave, and you say it's unrealistic. I want teams to take chances.
Yeah.
I think it's that stuff. I think, there's a lot of really good young coaches that need to start getting those opportunities, and retreads keep getting in the way.
There's no safe way to win an NBA title.
Right.
Like if you're like Mo, you're talking about taking risks. Like this is you are aiming for like the right tail. You're aiming for the best possible outcome. What is the best possible thing we can get here? And I think that the problem with a lot of these retreads is like, all right, we know they're gonna be solid and pretty good. We know this. That's fair. But what's the upside? What's the like? The most obvious one is again, as Mo was talking about with Doc. Like exactly where the line is drawn, and at that point, it becomes a problem. Problem is, at the point where it becomes the problem is like the point you're trying to get to.